I'm live. Was not sounding loud. All right. Coming in here for a quick check-in. It's such a nice day. I might not be on here for very long. This camera is so crooked. What is going on with that? So how's everybody doing? Whoever watches this afterwards, hopefully you're having a good weekend, whatever coming up. But yeah, I was kind of surprised at some of the stuff that I found with the vitamin A and the vitamin D. And I got another video similar to that coming out tomorrow. It's actually about autism, so look out for that. It's pretty much put together. I'll just put it out tomorrow, probably normal time, 5:45 Eastern. I don't know. It's probably what time it'll go out. But it's pretty interesting. What else? I don't know what else to talk about. I really haven't been. I didn't put too many videos out this week. It's probably going to be like that. I think I'm going to be putting more into the videos. And I also want to revive my Patreon because I'd like to start making a lot of videos that I really just can't put on YouTube. I know the bout of Patreon did not go very well, but it is linked below. This autism video might give me some trouble, so if it does, I might have to just legit just go and start doing some stuff on Patreon because I'd really like to get information out there that has just been so hard to get out because of being censored. So that's going to be a good video. Other than that, more of my foot saga. So it's not broken, but they don't know what's going on with it. So I got to go for an MRI. Meanwhile, people were asking me about my bike riding. I haven't really been able to ride bike. The foot really is giving me a lot of trouble. So I haven't been doing that. I've created the first 10 pages of my course onto something with vitamin A and sugar. Yeah. Oh, speaking of sugar, anyway, so my course, I'm 10 pages in. I think I'm going to create some videos for it, and that's going to be done pretty soon. Once that's done, I'll make a video about it, figure out where it's going and how I'm doing that. And then as far as the sugar, so somebody did see my video and they actually reached out to Dominion, which I think is the largest sugar grower in the world. And they said that they don't add vitamin A to their sugar. But glyphosates, I do believe they use. And you're going to see, if you watch that autism video, I'm going to be talking about glyphosates and that. They're far worse than I actually thought they were. So it's something that I am going to try to stay away from. I think when it's labeled organic, they don't use it. I think so. I'm going to have to look more into that. I might do a video just based on glyphosates, but again, a lot of this stuff is going to get blocked by YouTube, so it's very hard to get out some of this stuff. So anyway, if again, the Patreon, I think I'm going to start having to use that more because some of the videos I'd like to make, I can't make them on here because I'll just block them or give me a strike or whatever. I've tried in the past; they gave me a strike, and I think that's largely why they just it's so hard for me to get the videos out there. Can't think of what else. Whenever you guys want to start saying, whatever for me to answer. If not, this probably isn't going to be very long. It's a stupid nice day out there, so I'm assuming people are out there enjoying it. I don't really have much going on right now. Can't wait for more interview videos. Yeah, I got a couple of videos coming out. Hopefully they'll be out this week. I'm doing 2 interviews on Tuesday. I might have another one coming that I'm going to be doing on Saturday or Sunday. So I might have 2 or 3 interviews coming out next week. It really just depends on schedules. What is your diet right now? Like, it's pretty sad, really. I haven't felt like eating. It's so humid out there. When it's humid like this, I really struggle to. I'm just not as hungry. So it's basically been watermelon. I keep meaning to buy dates. It's a good idea. Gotta buy dates. Watermelon, but I'm out of those. So I'm gonna have to get more today. Banana, but I'm out of those because I had a ridiculous fruit fly issue, and I'm ran all my bananas out, so I don't have any more fruit flies. So once the fruit fly situation's dealt with, then I'll start buying bananas again. I don't have as much fruit as I normally do, is basically what I'm saying, because I bought a case of bananas from Whole Foods like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it had like a fruit fly nest in it. And I mean, hundreds of fruit flies. So I've basically not been able to have fruit out. So that's that's becoming a challenge. And then I'm just doing rice, potatoes, or pasta for dinner. Um, I actually, to be honest, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing tomorrow unless I get some watermelon today because I'm out of bananas. I just could not get rid of the fruit flies. How do you feel mentally with mostly eating fruit? Your mental clarity goes way up if you're strictly on fruit. If you're mixing it with cooked food sometime in the day, I can't really say that it changes a whole lot, but if you are on just fruit, you notice a massive difference. At least I do, and most people who go on like a fruit thing notice a pretty big difference. But there's speaking of fruit flies, there's one flying around my head right now. I got to get rid of these things before I buy bananas again. I might stop, vitamin D supplements. Is it still good to take K2? Do you know? Yeah. Why would you stop? All cool. Me too. Fruit flies, maybe. Um, yeah, why would you stop? I just made that video about vitamin D. I mean, they were taking 1 million IUs or 25 milligrams back in the 20s, and they were having fantastic results. Anytime the so-called medical industry tells me something, I kind of do the opposite. My coworkers keep talking about the way I eat high carb, low fat, and it makes me insecure. Any advice would be great. Uh, I mean, I would just tell them to fuck off. But advice. I don't know. McDougal always just told him to tell him your doctor told you to eat that way, even though all the doctors are talking about keto these days. I really, people's opinions. I have not cared about people's opinions since August 11th of 1980, and that's the day I was born. I don't run like that, but I guess just tell them your doctor or something. Um, the more results you get, the less they're gonna ask that, and they're gonna ask what you're doing, and then they're gonna be like hawks over you, like trying to figure out what you're doing, especially if if they're overweight. Who are the next interviews with? Georgie is on Tuesday. The Georgie one, I don't know how well that's going to go though, because DC doesn't allow him to talk about a lot of stuff now. So that one might be interesting. And then I've got one hopefully with Sophie coming up. She does coaching, and I wanted to do one with Magda. So there's a couple people hopefully coming up. How did you learn to not care about whether to think? I tried not to care, but it's hard. I'm telling you, the day I was born, I have not. It just does not register at all. I've people have asked me to make like videos about that, and I realize I don't know how to make a video about that because I just don't it's just never, like for example, when I was 5, my dad's like, can you help with the dishes? And I just looked at him, I said, why? They're your dishes. And it's just kind of always been like that. My sister and I are, I guess maybe if we could bottle up whatever that is and sell it, we might be billionaires. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a really good question. I really did. I've wanted to make videos about that, and I don't know how to get it across because I've actually had some people who have really big channels who have actually asked me to help them with that, and because they got huge channels and they don't handle the criticism as well as I do, and I just never know what to tell anybody about it. I don't I don't know. Yeah, I guess I could try to figure how to make a video about that, but I don't know. I don't know if I even, I don't know. I don't know how to get it across, really. I just wonder why like, how boring is your life if you're, like, watching me and, like, do this, you know? Or if, like, somebody's talking about you and, of course they're talking about me. I'm the only one here worth talking about, just kinda have that mentality. People get mad when you tell them stuff like that, and it's just fun for me to watch how mad they get. Or just say, "Wow, you're really getting upset about that." Just kinda turn it on them. It's kinda like in karate, if somebody's coming at, if somebody's, coming at you in karate, you're supposed to use their energy to kind of flip them over or whatever, just use their energy against them. I'm not bored. Laugh out loud. Did I say somebody's bored? Yeah, I don't know. I really wish I knew. I really c if I could probably base an entire channel around that, and that's kinda how what I wanted to do with, Ryan Talks, and then I realized I don't know how to get some of this stuff across. It's kinda like a math teacher who is really good at math, but sucks at telling you how to do it. I've had, like, a couple math teachers like that over the years, and so I kinda was sucking at trying to get it across like I am right now. I'm sucking at trying to get this across, and, so I stopped making videos. Yeah, social anxiety is a hurdle. I don't think you can really understand how little I care about it. Like it just like it's like the gene or whatever or the chromosome isn't in even in my being to even care about what the social. I mean, you can just go do your thing, like go have your little uh pouting over what I'm eating. But when people just take so much time and effort, I mean, we all do it. One of the things I absolutely can't stand is just, like, people are on a walk staring at their phone. People are like, they can't even stop at a stoplight without staring at their phone. Like, I do have my own pet peeves, but um, yeah, I don't think I've actually gotten anything accomplished in the last 4 or 5 minutes here, other than just saying, use it against them or whatever. Another thing that you can actually do is you can if you joke about it with them, it's no longer fun for them to joke about it and they'll stop. So you can use that. Like maybe make fun of it before they get to it and then they've got nothing to do, you know. So you can also do that. I don't know. Work environments are probably the worst environments that there is. Most people don't hate their job, they just can't stand the people they work with. And, and it's not, and you're not impervious to this. So most people probably don't like you either. And so when they come to work, they don't want to be around you and you don't want to started really looking into their life during the whatever happened during 2020 and really kind of changing gears. What could be fun? What could be a fun answer if they ask why you're eating fruit for lunch? You're a man, shouldn't you eat real food? I don't know. It'd have to be in the time. I'm a very just right off the cuff, like it just comes just right out. Uh, I have no idea. I don't know what I would say. I would have to be there. I don't know. Or just say, what could be a fun answer if they ask why you're eating fruit for you're a man? Shouldn't you eat, these days, I'd probably just say, "Do you have biological evidence of that?" Because, people need biological, evidence that somebody's, actually male nowadays. I don't know, it would have to I haven't been in an actual work environment, for a very long time, and when I was in a work environment, people caught on real quickly that I have 0 interest in your opinion. So, this is why I got government job this is why I finally got a government job because it's extremely hard to get fired from a government job. Because I kept getting fired, one job after another. It just, "Alright, I'll see you." I don't feel like doing this anyway. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say other than what I've said. I'm, pretty quick-witted, so it usually just comes out in a moment. Here's another thing too, is I can read people's energies, like, really well if I'm in the room with them, so I know before you even say your first word what's going to annoy the hell out of you. I have a I have a guy that I used to work with at the post office. He used to follow me around because he knew that I could just set people off, like, instantaneously. Um, so, yeah, I'd have to read the energy of the room. I have to read the energy of the room. But I don't even know if I'll ever do a normal job again or not, so I probably will not have to deal with that. The commuting is what is the worst part of any job. That is by far the worst part. Okay, appreciate your help. I don't really know that I did anything. I really don't know. Like, if you ask something about exercise or maybe diet, I can answer a question, but as far as mental health or something like that, I'm probably not the best person to talk to. You got a government job. Congrats. What job are you doing? Oh, I don't have one now. Well, technically I do. I have the post office. I've been in the post office for 10 years now. They my injury happened at work and somehow they're saying that they don't have to find me a job. So I have no idea what's going on with it. I hear from them like maybe every 6 months or something like that. Talk about not being able to get fired from anything. I mean, I haven't shown up for a single day of work in 4 years. Last year around this time, I got called in so they could write me up. I'm like, what are you writing me up for? And, they're like, "Well, you haven't shown up." I said, "You aren't letting me back and you're writing me up about this?" I said, "I'm not signing that." And they're like, "Well, you have to." I said, "I don't have to do anything, that you tell me to do." And so I just left. So, I'm like, "How do you it's been 3 years in, and you're gonna call me in and try to write me up for something that happened 3 years ago?" I said, "Where's the original manager?" Because I know he's doing 30 years in jail because he got caught with 3 pounds of fentanyl on a government property, so now he's doing 30, and, the whole thing's such a mess, but anyway, technically, yes, I have a government job. Will I ever be back? I have no idea. I have no idea. Does Grubhub pay good? I don't know, they kicked me off, but I do, DoorDash, and it has been absolute ass this week. I probably would have been better off taking a vacation week. After I get off this, I'm probably gonna go out. It's just nobody's here right now. Like I've never seen parking lots so empty. I've never seen so little traffic on the road. I never seen anything like this in my life. It's nuts. Now as far as government jobs, like if I could get another government job, maybe in the park systems or something like that, like I would do it. But with my foot just doing whatever the fuck it wants to do anymore, I don't know what kind of job I can even get, and I don't really like desk jobs. They were saying in the news most people don't have the right car insurance to do DoorDash. Yeah, I had to make sure that I told them that I have a gig job, and for absolutely no reason whatsoever, they add $40 a month to that to my insurance for whatever reason. I don't know what the difference is. I drive the same amount of miles that I did when I wasn't doing gig work. So I really don't know what the difference is. But yeah, interestingly enough, I think Progressive Insurance is the only one that has gig driver insurance. All the other ones give you like commercial insurance, which is even more. So lucky for having Progressive. But yeah, you gotta let them know. If you're watching this and you do gig work, you gotta let the insurance company know because they can actually get out of the claim if you're in the middle of delivery. They say, well, you didn't have the right insurance, and then you can pay for this yourself. So yes, that is a thing. Luckily, I don't. There's no car payment on this thing, so this is why I buy Toyotas. I should knock on wood. I don't have wood over here. Damn, that sucks. But yeah, yes, that is definitely a thing. I did get some cherries. I know that's random, but I was thinking about driving, and I did get some cherries, so I do have a little bit of fruit. But the fruit fly thing was just such a mess, such a hot mess. So hopefully that gets dealt with by the end of the weekend, and I can go out and buy bananas again. Yes. Anything else? Do you buy organic sugar or non-organic sugar? Is there any big difference? I didn't used to think so, but yes, there is a massive difference. Non-organic sugar apparently uses glyphosates. If you watch tomorrow, I'm going to be publishing a video on autism, and it's pretty insane how glyphosates actually come into play. So organic sugar is definitely the way to go. They used to be able to buy huge bags of it at the grocery store. I haven't been seeing it lately, so I'm going to have to figure out how the hell to do that. But yes, it makes a huge difference. And when I have organic sugar or Florida crystals, Florida crystals are another good one. I don't have any gut issues, but when I use conventional sugar, I always get gut issues. So that is definitely a tip there. Glyphosates, if people don't know, is stuff they put on grain and sugar and stuff like that to keep the pests off. And what it does is it eats the internal organs of the whatever it is, bugs or whatever that's on this stuff. And I can't imagine that's any good for you. No, I haven't found the Florida crystals yet, but I really haven't looked. I did find a big bag or somewhat big bag, like 3-pound bag of organic. I use non-organic sugar. Damn it, I'm going to become autistic. It's interesting. It's possible. Yeah, watch my video tomorrow. Do you believe there are many links to autism, pesticides? Yes. Watch the video. I heard honey accumulates pesticides from the farmers around it. What's your thoughts on that? Even if it didn't, the bees largely are going to be around agriculture, and agriculture largely uses some kind of pesticides now, which is ridiculous. And a lot of these pesticides actually require that you use a hazmat suit to put it on the crops. Those bees are going to bring those pesticides back to their hive, and then that's going to be in the honey. So unless you can, like, I personally, like, the one thing that's great about Cleveland is I can be in the country and I know the farmers within like 20 minutes, right? 25 minutes. But if you live in like a Manhattan or, like an LA or like, like a really, really big city or like a Chicago, like Chicago, probably not Chicago, but like one of these really big cities that's kind of far away from farming, you're going to have such hard time finding some of this stuff. With me, I can go out to Amish country and they don't use any of this kind of stuff. And I can get, like, I'm personally allergic to a lot of flowers, so I can't have honey. But if my throat actually starts closing up. But if I didn't have that, I could just go to Amish country and get, whatever I want to. And sometimes I really want to go get my watermelon there because they have like the best watermelon you've ever had in your life. But it's probably I'm gonna have to wait till like August. But anyway, so the point is, if you can find a source, if you can actually go to it and they don't have that kind of stuff around you, you're not going to run into that. But if you're getting it from a commercial, you're going to get pesticides. Farmers stop using pesticides and their yields drastically reduced. Do you think the government should compensate them, the taxpayer? So this is what happened, right? So they sold all the farmland that we needed, and they didn't use pesticides back in the day because you're supposed to use a 3-season cycle. And this is what they used to do. So 1 year you grow your crop on one third of your land. On one third of your land, you grow like barley or something like that, and you'll till it back in. And then 1/3 of your land isn't used that season; it's just rested. And then the rested you would grow on the next year, and then you rotate out your land. But they did away with that because of pesticides that they were using from excess bomb making material, because they literally were being used to make dummy bombs back in World War II, and they got used to it. And then Monsanto came around and started making all this GMO, and they literally bought. They still own, I'm sure, all of the old seeds, so nobody could use them. And the Monsanto is so disgusting. I think I'm not going to say that because somebody will do it and blame me. But so they've got all these old seeds, and they also control all of the bee organizations. Ironically, so are bees really scarce, or are they just saying this? And so the answer to the question, I think what Russia is doing right now is probably the best example of what should be done. Russia has seen what the Western world does, and it's now considered a terrorist act if you use GMO in farming in Russia. So you're now considered a terrorist and you go to jail if you use GMO in Russia. And if you want to grow organically, they will literally give you farmland to do so. So I would be happy to pay taxes for that, largely because I don't really pay tax. I usually have so many write-offs at the end of the year. I pay like $80 a year. But yes, I would more than happy, even if I had to pay more taxes. I really don't care about stuff like that. If you're going to do that and give back some of this farmland, last thing we need is another damn suburb somewhere. That's the last damn thing we need. Just go into some of these areas where there's all these burned out, knocked down factories, knock them over and put housing in there. um, so yes, to answer the question, I would get rid of all of it, but they're not going, because they know it's the pharmaceutical and hospital make what, $4 trillion a year. I mean, who's going to fight that? I don't understand how you even fight that. $4 trillion a year is a lot of money. So you're going up against a $4 trillion industry, and they know it. So I don't know. I mean, to put that in perspective, I think the entire military for the United States government is worth 800 or 900 billion dollars, and the gross income of all of the hospital systems is $4 trillion, and that going from billion to trillion is such a significant leap. It's like astronomical. So what do you do? What do you do with that? But anyway, to answer your question, would I be happy to pay more taxes to subsidize farms? I mean, we're already doing it. They're already subsidizing all of the animal agriculture, and they're pushing this keto. So if we could take that farmland back, because you can grow, I think it's 24,000 oranges on 1 acre of land. I mean, we're not going to grow oranges here in Ohio, but we can grow a lot of potatoes in Ohio. And I mean, can you imagine how much land, how much potatoes you could grow on the land that's being used for that, for animal agriculture? So yeah, I'd be happy to do that. I mean, it's gonna have to give at some point. Do you have private health insurance? Is it through work or funded by yourself? I actually am on poor people insurance, so I don't pay for anything. Because I have so many tax write-offs, I look like I basically make nothing, so I get Medicaid. I am right now in the middle of reapplying, so hopefully I keep keep it. If I don't, then I'm pretty fucked. I'd have to figure out something with that. There are benefits to working for yourself, and that is one of them. What do you think about taxes on sugar? Will sugar soon stop existing? No, sugar's not going to stop existing. This fruit fly, I want to. It's uh, there's no way. People would see real quick that sugar is, I mean, is needed. Taxes on sugar, they've tried to do that in the past, and I actually think they're doing it in England or the UK. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. I don't know how they can tax on some of this stuff. I mean, this is where you get underground markets for everything. When they start taxing on stuff, people who grow this, who can grow sugar, but don't want to be a commercial farm, they're just going to start selling this stuff tax free, to people who are willing to possibly break the law. I mean, that's how alcohol originally was run, and a lot of alcohol is still run that way. Thoughts on hench herbivore getting gallstones? Apparently, if you don't eat enough fat, it causes bile stagnation due to no release. Watch my last video. You'll change your mind. Do eat much processed food or just fresh fruit and vegetables? I don't eat a ton of processed. As I say that, though, I do have these. These things are being discontinued, so I bought a bunch of them. I don't eat a ton of processed. I'd rather make it myself. Like I said in quite a few videos, I was originally going to be going to school for to be a chef, actually a baker, but I like cooking too. So I would rather just make it myself. Like yesterday, I made, because you can't go to a Chinese shop really and get oil free. So I made my own. If you go at like mixed vegetables or something at a Chinese place, they usually use a pretty standardized sauce for that. So I made my own yesterday. Now I did add like a tiny bit of oil to it, just the sesame oil, just to get a little bit of flavor into it. But I know when they do it at the Chinese places, I mean, they dump that oil in there. What was in the bag? I missed it. It's just gumdrops. But the reason I bought a bunch of them because they're discontinuing them. But zero fat, no oil in it, and actually it uses. Damn, is that loud? And it uses red cabbage, turmeric, and paprika as the colorant, and that so it's not like the harsh chemical color. But unfortunately, they're not selling them anymore. What do you eat for breakfast? Cereals or fruit? Usually just a watermelon. Lately, that's what I've been eating. That's why I got to go get up more. I usually go through a watermelon a day. I usually buy the biggest ones that I can, like 20, 30 pounds, and I'll have that throughout the day. And until the fruit fly incident, then I would have bananas after that. I keep forgetting to buy dates, so hopefully I'll remember after this. And I'll have some dates. And then I have whatever starch kind of thing I'm going to have for dinner. I have actually skipped cooked altogether a couple days. I'll just make a salad of some kind. Uh, and that's it. I haven't been eating a bunch. I don't have air conditioning in my car, so when I'm out door dashing, I'm hot as it gets. I mean, yesterday it was so humid yesterday that even people with air conditioning couldn't fog their windows. Like when I came home yesterday, it was so humid that the windows in the house were fogged because it was so humid. I think it was like 95% humidity. And so it just makes it so much harder to actually be hungry. Can glyphosate cause leaky gut? Yeah. It literally is built to destroy the gut of the pests that are on the food. There's going to be a little bit about glyphosates in the video tomorrow. I'm going to make actually an entire video about it. I'm not putting out as many videos as I did. I probably will start putting out more towards when everybody's back to normal schedules in the fall. but I've noticed like a massive decrease in views. And I think I'm gonna change the other channel to something, but I definitely, like I said in the beginning of this, I really wanna start using my Patreon to really make some videos that I would never be able to post on here. I'm here just to observe a few watchers. Okay. Watchers of who? I don't trust anything with an owl on it. I'm not a Freemason. Okay. This is a weird one. Why Friday I always get the crazies? Maybe I know who you are, maybe I don't. All right, anything else? I usually make the Friday ones just like half an hour. How is the weight any further lost? I don't know. I haven't been weighing myself. I've been I haven't been really able to exercise because one doctor's saying I've got a broken bone in this foot. Another doctor's saying I got a torn tendon. Another saying I have end stage arthritis. I'm like, how did these three foot doctors can't figure out what the hell's going on? So I'm going for an MRI in like a week and a half, to see what's going on because I can't actually tell what's going on with my foot in X-ray. But something happened a couple of weeks ago while I was on a bike, and I didn't know how I was going to get home. My foot was hurting so bad. I lost my Medicaid. They said I make too much. Yeah, yeah, that's getting rough. You look leaner since last time I saw you. Anything's possible. I hate weighing myself because if it doesn't go down, then it's like, damn. I think this is more a systemic issue than food. I'm actually ordered the systemic that I used to take with my chiropractor back in PA. I contacted him, and so I'm having some of that come out because I ride just as much as I did in PA. I have the exact same diet, but the weight was falling off. Matter of fact, I was able to eat whatever the hell I wanted to. I mean, it was all vegan, but I can't even tell you how many cookies I was eating and all that kind of stuff. And weight was just falling off. And maybe it was he had me on magnesium, olive leaf extract, and a systemic. Uh, I'm gonna try that. We'll see what happens. This has been bugging the hell out of me. Does Medicaid cover MRIs? Yeah. Do they try to avoid paying for investigations and drugs? No, it's crazy. Medicaid just they just let it go through. Do you think it's worth paying twice as much for organic potatoes? So if you're during this season, depending on where you live, if you are in an area that has farmers markets and you know the farmer who grows it, chances are I would not buy organic. Chances are they grow organic, but they just can't afford to have the organic label. So I would just buy farmer's market, especially if it's got real flaky skin on it. That means it's really fresh potato. They didn't, they just picked it. So I would eat that. Let's During the winter though is when you start running into what do you buy. So during this most of the winter, I was still able to buy from a farmer that I know. I've talked to them. That was in the northwest part of Ohio, and I know they don't use anything. So there's that. I don't mind buying from them. But when it comes from something like what's that called? The Green Giant, or some of these huge farms, I would stay away from those. Is it always packed in the waiting room for your local emergency room as it is here in UK? Not really. No, it depends on where you go. If you go to an area that's got a lot of gun stuff, like if people are getting shot often, then yeah, the ER is usually pretty slammed. If you go to an area that doesn't have that, then probably you can get in within half an hour. It really depends. If it's like inner city, like total hood, yeah, you're gonna be waiting a while. but not as much. No, I think what's happening is people are just straight dying now from whatever experiment that happened a few years ago, and they don't really need the emergency room anymore because they're just dead. So that could be what's going on. Because I've never seen so many ambulances in my entire life. Someone called Reform Stoic is restreaming your stream on YouTube. He's some keto guy that's badmouthed sugar for 3 years. I tell you what, this YouTube thing is getting even stranger. He's restreaming my stream. Wow. Wonder if he's probably got more viewers than I do. Do you think it is worth paying twice as much for organic potatoes as at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods? Trader Joe's is never twice as much. It'll be twice as much at Whole Foods, but Trader Joe's, I mean, there's it's usually like $1 difference in the bag. Trader Joe's is never double. It takes about 6 hours to see a doctor in the ER here in UK. That's nuts. It's probably because of your healthcare system. So you follow freely diet, fruit, and starch. Can you send me the Stoic, whatever their actual Reform Stoic is that their YouTube name? I'll have to look into this. Uh, so you follow freely diet, fruit, and starch more freely actually than Durian Rider. That keto kid Durian Rider interview, eye bags are a lot worse. He reacted to this video. Yeah, that guy looks terrible. Is that the guy that's restreaming my? I can't believe. I can't tell you how weird this YouTube channel has gotten in the last like 2 weeks here. Very strange. I've had to change a lot of things. I had a private a lot of stuff. I can only imagine what some of these big channels go through. Um, I can't, yeah, he eats lots of turkey. Random shit. So what's this guy's name? Reformed Stoic. I think I've heard this guy's name. I think that was the guy's name, Joey. Yeah, I think that was the name. Man, this YouTube channel, this YouTube shit. I tell you what. Well, thanks for letting me know. Joey Schwartz. It reminds me of that movie back in the day. All right, I think I'm gonna get heading out of here. Anything else? Video is still around. I was actually thinking he was gonna come after me for even streaming his video. Some of these people are getting a little out of hand. Oh, speaking of which, um, I'm a fan and I have trolls. Now he's on here. All right. Speaking of which, oh God, what the hell's the guy's name? Costa? What was that vegan that keto guy? I made a video about him a couple of weeks ago. He copyright struck every single person that is making made a video about him. He also took his own videos down on coming out about keto and everything. So if you're looking for the videos that I made about that, they've been taken down because he copy struck everybody. Simple as that. Good night, Ryan. Thanks for the talk. Yep. He always says that. Who Eric Berg? No, gosh, what was that guy's name? He's like the original keto doctor, he claims. Mel something. I don't even know how to figure it out right now. Mel Costa. That's not it. I have no idea. I can't remember the fucking guy's name. Let me look at your videos. Oh, Mercola. Yeah, he copy struck everybody, Mercola. So I had to take all them videos down. I don't like keto people orbiting here and restreaming your content. It is very strange. Even natural sugars that are not organic still have glyphosate. Depends on how they grow it. Call the growers. I think they legally have to tell you if you ask them. Remember to smash the sugar, water, not the coffee and turkey. That's what a weird combination. Um, yeah. So as far as the natural sugars go, you're really going to have to contact these growers. Like that, I think legally they have to tell you what they use. I don't know. I know the FDA's gotten really strange, and they're actually in court right now because they've gotten way too lax. So it really, yeah, I don't know. So I can't really answer that question. You'd have to contact the grower, but I would think if it's called natural or organic that they don't use glyphosates. That's the one biggest thing that I will always buy organic pasta because I know wheat almost it always uses glyphosates in it if it's not organic. So that's the one, everybody asks me about organic. 100% of the time, buy pasta organic or don't even bother with it because I know it's going to have glyphosates in it. And speaking of keto, they're probably feeding this glyphosate stuff to the stuff to keto people are eating. So they're getting it too. But anyway, I think I'm going to get heading out of here. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to have a video coming out tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens with next week. I got a couple of interviews coming up. I'll try to get those videos out. Well, the interviews are on Tuesday, so I'll try to get at least one of them out on Wednesday. But anyway, I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you in the next one.